All right, guys, Automatic Garage back today. We got the old white trash 7.3 in the shop, and she is nasty because she's been sitting for, what, 2 months? Just parked for 2 months because the transmission's done in it. We got an appointment at BTS on Friday this week, and I decided to, hey, why not go on and do something in a time crunch, because that's how we like doing things. So we're gonna go on and do a KC Stage 2 turbo and 205/30 injectors. So it's in here to get that. Figure might as well do it now that I'm gonna have a BTS transmission that'll hold everything. Supposedly this was a John Woods transmission. I don't know. We'll see what Brian says when he takes it apart, but that'll be part of this video too, is another trip over to BTS. Throwing this stuff in here. We're not gonna do step by step because I've got videos on doing 7.3 injectors. We're just gonna have a little bit of fun here. Put some go fast, fun parts on the white trash here and get her going. As I mentioned before, I bought this truck with 275,000 miles on it. I have no idea. They should be stock injectors still. I don't know if they were the original factory stock injectors or not, but we do have the AFE intake. I have a Turbo Master wastegate on there, which I hate, so I'm gonna be glad to get rid of that. Also, we have the regulated return, fuel bowl delete, fast pump, bellowed up pipes, deleted pedestal. What else am I missing? I think that's it, but we'll have some injectors and a turbo now on here to go along with all this. Let me show you what we got here on the table. So we got our KC Stage 2 turbo. We got our full force 205/30 injectors. We got the fuel pressure spring kit for the fast to bump it on up to 75 PSI. We got new Alliant Power injector harness and valve covers there. And we got our new red and green hose for our wastegate solenoid, because this was not on the truck anymore from having that Turbo Master. So we'll have new hoses to go with this for that wastegate. Anyways, we're gonna get busy, get tearing this down, and I'm willing to bet I can probably have the injectors out and the turbo out in an hour and a half, probably, maybe. We'll see. It is, what time is it right now? Oh, here we go. It's 11:30. Let's see what time I get it apart. All right, so we're 26 minutes in, and we got a turbo on. Regulated return lines. Fighting me. Oh. There we go. Yeah, I didn't mention earlier, we do have a ATS turbo housing, which Lee said he wants, but I don't ever buy this thing. I'm not impressed with it, and I think when I was fighting all the time, it always felt like it was wanting to catch. Like it just didn't operate smooth. Whatever, it's gone now. We're just under an hour in, and we got our valve covers off now, which I have never had the valve covers off this truck. So who knows what we may or may not find. There's one. They're all matching injectors. Solenoids aren't different colors or nothing. That's that one. Taking the wool fill off.
Probably would have made it easier. What you doing?
Taking off something I should already take off.
Oh man, that sure made it easier.
It did. All right, we stopped and got us some lunch, and I'd say, well, we're about another 30 minutes in, and all we got left to do is pull the injectors and glow plugs. So we got all that out. Injector harness looked good, but I just don't want to put it back on, so we're doing new ones. But yeah, we're gonna get these injectors out, and I think I'm gonna hold on to these. These may go on Miss Automedics excursion because we keep having some random misses on it, and these are running great. I hate to send them back for course, so we'll get these pulled out. We'll take a look at them. All right, we got all 8 out. All the coppers came with them. These are, pretty sure these are Ford injectors is what I would say. They have no other marking on them. They're the original looking AD solenoids there. So now we're gonna pull glow plugs, clean the cups, and then we put injectors in, turn the motor over, shoot the oil out of the cylinders, and then put the glow plugs in under valve cover harnesses and get that done, and then we'll go to installing a turbo. All right, we got all of our injectors out. We got all the glow plugs out. We brushed all of our cups with our engine brush with a little bit of brake clean. Hit it with brake clean again and blew it out because you just want to make sure that your cup is nice and clean like that. So now Bubba has our injectors all greased up. I like to grease them up real good. Make sure you don't cut or damage an O-ring going in. Makes them slide in the cup a little bit easier. Of course, make sure your coppers are all on. So we're gonna put those in, torque them to 108. We'll put the oil deflector spout back on. It's 124 inch-pounds, and then we'll have to set the valve covers on, spin the motor over to get all the oil out of the cylinder so we don't have a hydro lock condition. And then we'll pull them back off, put the glow plugs in, torque them to 14. We'll put our under valve cover harness and all that on, and then we'll put the valve covers on for good, and then we can do turbo stuff. Ready? Put it in, make sure your hold down is up over the shoulder bolt. Just give it a few taps, that gets it over the shoulder bolt, and then you can use a wrench to pry it down in there the rest of the way. Because I don't like beating on the solenoids any more than you have to. And the HVAC box makes it a little bit of fun over here. Just like that. All right. Can't get my hand in here. There it is. All right, so I just got a 16 wrench or anything that's close to that. You just hook it on the bottom of the hold down, and then you can see it pushes the injector down in there further. And you basically just go until it's hitting where the hold down bolt goes, and that gets it way further down in there. And if you want to, you can go on and pop it another time or two, and that pretty much has you down to where you can put your hold down bolt in and get the torque and stuff. nervous every time I said I fuck the O-rings up. Get it in here. All right, we got the KC Stage 2 turbo mounted up. I had to get under the truck and loosen my up pipes up to get it to mate up good, which is a normal thing. I was just hoping I wouldn't have to, but anyways, all torqued down. Torqued the turbo to the pedestal, 30 foot-pounds, and got our clamps all tightened up. So now I'm gonna go on and stick the spider on so I don't have to worry about anything getting down in the intake. We're gonna spin the motor over for just a second, and that'll shoot all the oil out of each cylinder that got down in there, taking the injectors out. Then we can pull our valve covers back off. They're just sitting here with one bolt in each one of them, and that way you don't make an oily mess in the engine bay here. And then we can go on and put our glow plugs in, put our under valve cover harnesses on, clean the valve covers up, and then put them all on, torque them down, and then put the few things back on, and we'll have it done to crank up. Yeah. Hold up. All right, we're all back together. We're gonna check the oil real quick. We'll have to do some cranking to get this all primed back up since there's air on the system. And I don't really know how she's gonna idle since it doesn't have the correct tune on it. I think I mentioned before, Brian's gonna tune this while we're over at BTS. So we're gonna see how it runs. Hopefully enough to tell everything's right. A little smoky. Gotta get all that oil out of the exhaust, of course, from replacing the injectors. All right, so we are on our way to BTS, and we decided to drive this because the transmission shifted fine when we took it for a test drive after doing the turbo injectors the other day. And it's been fine so far. We're probably, what, 30 minutes into the drive. We slowed down in a 35-mile-an-hour speed zone. And then suddenly the truck did not want to shift out of, I guess it didn't want to come out of third, didn't want to go into overdrive. So Lee let it coast in neutral. It went into overdrive. So we've got about 2.5 hours to get to our lake place, which is where we're going first, because we just got done doing his boat that y'all probably seen in the background of the shop in some videos. And I needed to get that out of the shop. We needed to get it over to the lake, so Bubba is pulling that. We have a trailer behind us, our 20-foot car hauler, because we had trees dropped over at our lake place, and we're going to run some logs through the log mill and bring those back. But this trailer, I know it's probably not good to pull anything with this transmission doing this, but it don't weigh much at all. And our transmission temp was that 195 weight? Yeah. It got over 200 earlier. Anyways, we're just trying to keep it in overdrive where the torque converter's locked up, and just take it easy on hills and not generate any more heat than we have to. It's hard for Speedy Gonzalez here to drive it easy. And I did want to do the turbo and injectors. Hindsight, may not have been the best thing to do to drive this thing over here and throw some extra horsepower at it in the meantime. But we'll let y'all know how it goes. Old white trash looking good out here in the sunshine. We've had rain for days and days. First sunny day we've had in a while. It's looking good. Temp is down to 180 here on 64 highway, because we're able to cruise about 60 to 65 real easy and overdrive, and it's flat land, so not working real hard on that, but everything else is doing good. Not leaking a drop of nothing other than the AC dripping. So after doing injectors and everything else, well, we made it here with no other problems. So now we just got a 2-hour drive in the morning from here to BTS and get this done. So hopefully, it's a pretty hilly travel from here to there. Hopefully she'll make that. But all we got is 2 hours, about 100 miles. All right, so we're about 30 minutes or so from BTS now. And man, Ozark country sure is pretty. I love being over in this part of Arkansas. But I think we're gonna make it just fine. We're gonna be just a couple minutes early for our 8 o'clock appointment. Lee's a little tired today. But yeah, I'm excited about getting this done. made it here. Well, there she is, already getting after it. Told Brian I wanted to see whatever is going on with it when he spots it on the inside of it. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that logo don't go on the side of that excursion.
Oh, that's 671.
Yeah.
What do y'all say? Are y'all awake now?
Yeah, I've been awake.
Dad's got a hurt tooth.
Yeah.
Lee's sleepy. What's your problem, Bubba?
He needs to go to the bathroom.
You want to hold my hand and walk me in there?
It's a pretty drive here.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not gonna get no more right now. I appreciate it though. I've been holding on.
I'm okay not doing that today. So we've been here about 45 minutes and transmission's right there rolling out.
He was ready by 6 o'clock. He was on the road before 6 o'clock.
Explain to me why you don't like the deeper pans. I know you told me the last time we were here.
Because you can't, the oil is not rotating fast enough to keep that pan.
Full.
In other words, you got a heat sink. All that oil coming in there hot, but we're not cycling it out fast enough.
No.
Right. I wanted to put that in there for some people to think about because you had educated me on that the last time we were here.
Long way, and I don't know why they came up with it. If you got to have it for a Stroh's truck or something like that, I understand. But you're sort of way down the ability for the oil to go through the cooler.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. He's gonna show you what the problem was with yours.
This is the easiest thing to show somebody, just so they know what's going on.
Don't drop it. And I know what he's getting ready to do because he's going to do the same thing we did the last time we were here.
Here's the factory.
Wow.
Yeah. Bang it back.
Do what you just did. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Now the difference is you take something and tap that one, it ain't going to do that.
See how where the sides are? Mm-hmm. The way they do that is because the fines will crack this and make this leak.
Huh.
That's why they cut the spines out of that.
So this is billet. This is all one thing. That's what in the video when we were here with Troy the last time he said he tapped with a hammer.
Remember I told you that.
And it's like listening to a real china glass. Crystal glass.
Correct.
Right there. Yep.
Huh.
That's the difference of what you're getting here is a lot of stuff like that.
This drum will either be different in this transmission than this one. Is that I got this one quenched for a certain intermediate shaft.
Right.
So the one that I put in, it'll be spring core after the end. That's out of Dan's. Woo. That's out of Dan's Duramax.
Hold it up straight. You can see the twist in the spline.
That's 2,500 horsepower. And he told me, he said, I let it bounce, but I didn't stop. So.
Not doing truck pull.
No.
Oh.
No.
So, yeah.
No. We're talking about 5 flat.
Okay.
I went over. He's like, "Hey, go look at my transmission oil."
I can't believe it made it here. Hey, Bubba, we're not the only ones with a power stroke pasture.
Yeah, got the kid. Power stroke problem.
I want to take that one home.
shoulder.
All right, we're ready for you two boys to fire it off. Y'all ready? We're gonna fire it right over the power stroke pasture here. So once again, that's all metal.
Yeah.
Lucky we made it here.
A little iffy one.
Cleaned and painted. Nice and pretty. Looks real nice, Clark. There's what's left of our center support bearing. And they said the torque converter was coming apart, was the main thing. Snoozing in the waiting room. Being boring. Bubba's leaving. He's got a 7-hour drive to go to his lake place with his family for Mother's Day weekend, and Diesel's freaking out. He's trying to figure out why Bubba's leaving. He doesn't understand that my truck's in there, we're gonna ride in it. Nice and quiet here while you wait on your transmission. All assembled. All right, so it's the next day, and what better way to try out a BTS transmission than to pull home who knows how many thousands of pounds of logs. We may go by the scale and see, but we're gonna put it in the tow tune and yeah, run the BTS transmission. All right, so we're all contemplating how much the load of logs weighs, so they pulled in here. We're gonna weigh it on the scale real quick. We also put a little air in the airbags too. They were a little low. Keep going. Gross weight 20,320 and trailer weight is 10,360, which I guess that's right. I guess that's all the trailer weight, even though some of it's bearing on the truck.
Yeah, so I mean, you have to, a little bit of weight is on the axles, back axle, so it's not exactly telling you what your trailer really weighs.
But our overall weight is that for sure, and the trailer's at least that. So.
And we know the front axle's 44.
Anyways, yeah, cool. All right, so we are back home with White Trash. She did excellent pulling the load all the way home. Drove great. We have a problem. She's a little bit too rowdy. I've got to go run some errands and ship some injectors back off for cores. Take something back to Ford, which is the rear main seal that we did not use because we opted not to replace it because it looks so good, and sometimes it's better to leave well enough alone than to mess with it. But anyways, we're gonna go for a ride, show what I'm talking about, and show what the next plan is here with White Trash. So she runs fantastic, but she's just a little too rowdy, and she's only been running for a couple minutes, so I'll let it warm up here and then I will show you. But what we're doing is we're kind of exceeding the limits of boost with stock head bolts, stock valve springs, and push rods. So before we tear something up, we're gonna have to go a little bit more. It's just a little bit rowdier setup than what I was anticipating it being, but she runs. But we're living on a prayer if we keep it the way it is. So EGTs were great all the way home, pulling that load of logs. My trans temp stayed right around 165 the whole time, and even probably closer to 150 on flat ground. In the hills it was about 165. EGTs, which my probe is post-turbo, not pre-turbo. That's the way this truck was set up when I got it. I know I need to change it, I just haven't done it, but we were staying consistently around 700 or so, kind of under a load. So usually add about 300 degrees of that, and that should be what it is going into it. So we were at 1,000 degrees or so under a load most of the time. Boost comes on strong though, so this is a 35 psi gauge, and I know if you get down on it in the hot tune, it's the needle's over here just about hitting the stop, so it's going all the way around. So we're above 40 on boost when you get on it, which 40 is pushing it. 35 is kind of what they say is the safe zone with the stock head bolts and springs. So last night after we had the trailer unhooked, I went to our little test spot that y'all watch us do here on the video, and we're kind of seeing how fast the truck is compared to any other truck that we've worked on or messed with here on the channel, going to that bridge, which it's somewhere between an eighth and a quarter mile. But this truck before would do about 74, 75 from a dead stop, and I went from a dead stop last night, and I was kind of pedaling it to keep from spinning the tires and pedaling it, trying not to push the boost any more than I had to, and it was 82 or 83 miles an hour. Drastic improvement. So if I could have kept my foot in it, we'd have probably been 85 or above from a dead stop to that bridge like we always do, which a 19 model 6.7 that we worked on a couple times, that I'm not sure what tune it has on it, but it's pretty hot. That truck does 88 miles an hour from a dead stop to there. Of course, it's got the 10-speed transmission, and it's stock other than a tune, but it's got some power. It's pretty rowdy. But watch the boost here if you can. You can see it once that turbo rolls in. It's pegging up past there, and I don't want to mess nothing up. So the tunes from Brian are excellent. They are not smoky at all. The only smoke you get is initial punch as the turbo's spooling up. So great tunes for that. Very impressed with it. I'm impressed with the performance altogether. So I think the route we're going is we're going to do the comp cams, 910 valve springs, some White Brothers chromoly push rods, and we're going to do the ARP studs. I think what we're going to do is raise the cab, because I need to put some S&B cab isolators on here anyways, because this cab has been raised up before, you can tell. And somebody probably got a little bit heavy with the impact before, because stuff's not quite lining up, and on occasion you can hear this back corner if you're pulling out of a parking lot and you flex the frame enough, like it's worn. So we'll do all that. We'll raise the cab, and we'll probably do the one stud at a time method going in the sequence with the ARP studs. I really don't want to do this, but I'm happy with the setup, and that's what has to be done as a preventative measure to not mess nothing up. So the only other route that I considered going was going on and pulling the heads off, taking them to the machine shop, having them checked for flatness, which they should be fine, but doing that, seeing if any of the valves or seats need attention, and replacing the seals and everything else, and just having him swap the springs out while they're there. I don't know what route we're going to go, but either way, this is going to get put down on the lowest tune that we can put it down on, to not mess anything up in the meantime, because you know that boy of mine's got a lead foot, and he will probably drive this on occasion, and I don't want to be getting too rowdy with this. So anyways, that's where we're at with this. Super happy with everything we did. Of course, transmission shifts amazing, just like anything else from BTS all the time. Brian and the crew is awesome. So we're going to have some more 7.3 content. I've seen some comments lately on we need some more 7.3 content on the channel. So between this and doing that, there will be more. There is a early 99 450 at the shop now too that we got to do injectors, reseal a high pressure oil pump, reseal an oil cooler on, and do under valve cover harness glow plugs, do all that stuff and get it back up to snuff for doing some work. So all that'll be coming on the channel here. So y'all tell me down in the comments below, what method would you recommend using? I want to try to make this as easy as I can, because it's my own truck and I don't need to be clogging up the shop with my own stuff. Would you do the one stud method? Would you pull the head off? This truck has 285 on it, so I'm sure there's some valve seats that probably could use some attention. Probably Some of the valves probably had that knife edge wore on them just from being run. So I don't know. Tell me what route to go with it. One advantage of doing the one stud method is I'm not going to have to worry about doing messing with the injector O-rings or any of that, or pulling glow plugs out. Any of that, I can do it all on the truck and just swap out the springs and swap out the push rods and put studs in. So I don't know. All right, so stop by Southern Performance. It does all my machine work. Got to build the 390 that's in all red, and I think we're gonna go one of two routes. Either I'm gonna buy a new casting head from like Power Stroke Performance that's O-ringed already with the heavier valve springs and new valves and all that, or we're gonna pull these heads, take them to Eric and have him O-ring them and do a valve job and guides and all that, put the heavier springs on it, which I think he quoted me $1,800. I'm just trying to see at the price point, does it make more sense to just buy new, have them all done, be able to do this in a day, have it in and out of the shop, or pulling the heads, taking them to Eric, waiting a week or two to get them back, and then putting the truck back together. So that's where we're at. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video on old White Trash, getting the transmission fixed, and it's a wonder we even made it over there. And giving her a little more power with the 205/30s, stage 2. And like I said, this is a good example of replacing things as you go with the plans of going bigger later. All the supporting mods. So pickup in the tank broke off, I did a sump. Fuel pump started getting noisy, did the fast. Fuel bowl was leaking, so I decided, hey, let's just do a fuel bowl delete and regulator return. Stuff like that. Just kind of build as you go, do the supporting mods to support what you're going to do later. Now we got to do one last supporting mod, which is now it's got the power, and we don't want to mess up head gaskets and float valves with valve springs. So that'll be the next video that comes on this. And of course, it's going to come as we get trucks done and have time to work on our own stuff here in the shop. But anyways, I appreciate y'all watching. Stuff like this wouldn't happen if it wasn't for y'all supporting the channel, supporting Patreon, supporting us on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Business is booming, and it's all because of y'all, and I appreciate that. So big thanks for y'all doing that. We're very blessed here. I'm getting to do what I enjoy every single day, getting to do fun stuff like work on trucks like this, which I love. I love keeping them on the road. I love getting them fixed right and taking care of y'all. So check out other videos on the channel here. Whole lot of 7.3, 6.0, 6.4, 6.7 Power Stroke stuff, some Cummins stuff, other Ford stuff, just like old Red in there. But we got a whole lot more content coming. The videos haven't been getting uploaded consistent because of how busy we are and going and doing stuff like this. We're getting ready for a crawfish boil coming up here soon at the shop also. So we got to try to get some stuff in and out so we can be ready for that. But just a lot going on here. We appreciate y'all. We're blessed that we're that busy. So thank y'all for that. Support us on Facebook and Instagram. Follow our Patreon. Become a member of that if you like supporting content on the channel here like that. We are on TikTok now. Any kind of cool, unique, good looking truck, whatever that rolls through the shop, we're typically making a TikTok now. I got Lee in charge of that. He's doing that for me. So check us out on there also. We appreciate y'all. It's Automatic Garage signing out. I'll holler at y'all later.